feel like I always make such a face when it's time to open champagne. No face this time. Cheers. Hey y'all, hey, I am Chelsea, the content creator and designer behind Knitting Tipsy, and this, I totally forgot to look, but I believe it is episode 13 of Show Us Your Knits. If you're new here, Show Us Your Knits is my yarny podcast where I get to be a proud 5-year-old and play show and tell with my finished objects and my works in progress since last we chatted. I'm gonna be real with y'all. It has been not a great week. It's late filming this. Usually I film earlier. It's like dinner time. I asked my husband if he'd be okay pushing dinner a little later, so you might get me a little tipsier than usual because there's no food in my belly. I decided last minute, I was like, you know what? I'm feeling pretty good. I'm gonna go for it. So I don't want to get into it very much. But I had kind of a crappy thing happen, last week. A guy sent me very inappropriate photos through my work email. And I had to try to block him on all different accounts, and he was still trying to contact me through like Google groups. It was very triggering as someone with an SA history, and that kind of really sucked. And then lots of little things went wrong. We're going to talk about one of them really soon. And then this week was the 4-month anniversary of Rudy's passing. And it's just been really hard. This is the first time I have done my makeup this week, so we are not going to cry it off. Anyways, I try to film like Monday through Wednesday. Today is Thursday, and I know if I didn't film today, I wouldn't film at all. And I know y'all are wonderful, and nobody expects me to. This is not something I have to do, but I have a lot of awesome things that I want to talk about. So I spent almost the entire day today outside. It was really great. I walked 4 miles to and from a coffee shop. I sat outside. I yarned basically the whole day, and I just found myself feeling pretty good. So I tried some makeup. We have flowers in our hair today because why the fuck not? Flowers in my hair always makes me feel better. And we're gonna go for it. So if you're seeing this video, it worked out and I posted it. And if you're not, hi Chelsea editing, and we decided not to post it. So there we go. All right, now that's out of the way. I have 2 faux today, 2 finished objects, and I'm actually wearing one of them, and it's one of the ones that went really wrong. We hadn't even talked about me making this at the last Show Us Your Knits. This is something that was very spontaneous. It was a spontaneous cast on, and I am happy now, but I wasn't for a while. It's a Malibu Barbie bralette. It is one of my designs. Let me like pop in a picture here of me wearing it. And now I feel like you're just gonna be looking at my tatas. But this is a lengthened kind of version. I'm about to tell you a lot of what went wrong. But I honestly, I had tried it on a day that I was really depressive funky. And I was like, I hate it. And then I put it on today and I was like, all right, let's see. Do we still hate it? We're feeling good. I was like, oh wait, it's cute. So let me tilt the camera back up. This is a reminder that we don't make decisions when our mental space is not good. Especially, I mean, we don't make a lot of decisions in that way, but for these easy decisions involving clothes and what we think about our body, we don't do that on bad mental health days because it's so subject to change. Nothing changed about this top, not a damn thing. The only thing that changed was my mental health when wearing it. So if you ever have a day that you are really feeling down about yourself, whether it's your body or just you as a person, and you put something on and you're like, you're fine. I can almost guarantee you that you look beautiful and that it's not as bad as you're like picturing in your head if there is an issue. So let's talk about why I made this and what went wrong. I had no plans to cast on another Malibu Barbie bralette. In the back of my mind, I had been thinking I would like a really soft pink version because I wear these tanks all the time. Tanks, bralettes, whatever you want to call them. This is a pattern that I have, if I haven't mentioned this, in my Ravelry. It's available on my Ravelry and it's also available on my website. It's a crochet pattern. I really think most of my patterns, almost all of my patterns, are suitable for adventurous beginners, but this one you do need to have like a solid foundation because you need to be able to read some stitches. There's some increases and you need to be able to see, is that a chain 4 and then a granny stitch, or is that a chain 3 that's part of my granny stitch? If you're like, what the hell does that mean? Then maybe you need some more practice, or maybe you'll want to watch some YouTube tutorials while you're making it. If you're like, oh yeah, I got that, then you'd be fine with this pattern. Last Wednesday, I think, I received an email from I think an Instagram follower who had purchased the pattern and they were having trouble doing the join where you take the 2 cups and you join them together. I did not have a tutorial included. And as I was trying to explain it to her, I was kind of like confusing myself because I really, when I need to have it like in my hands to be able to accurately describe something. That's why I often have more than one version of my own patterns. I do one version where hopefully I have taken good notes and I write the whole thing up. And then I usually am doing another one with testers so that I can pull it apart or go to it when they have questions, because I am just like, I'm a hands-on visual learner. So anyways, I was looking, I thought I had an unfinished bralette, Malibu Barbie bralette in my whips, but I do not. So I thought, you know what? Let's just make that pink version. This whips up very quickly. Like I can, if I was sitting down and just focusing on it, I could make one in a day. It would be like my work for the day, but I could make one in a day. Otherwise, I comfortably make one in like 2 to 3 days. So I told her, I was like, if you give me a few days, I can have a tutorial for you. So she ended up figuring it out before I got to the join, but I have now filmed a tutorial and hopefully we'll be posting it in the next couple days that I will link in the pattern in case anybody else has issues with it. So yeah, what yarn did I use? That's a great question because therein lies part of the problem. This pattern is written for fingering weight and my gauge is listed. It's my fingering weight gauge for my tension for crochet and fingering weight. And I knew when I grabbed this yarn that it was going to be different. I grabbed Kobu, which is not fingering weight. This is like a DK weight. And I thought, you know what? It works up so quick. Let's just get to a point where I can like measure one of the cups because I have those measurements in the schematic. And then I can kind of judge to see, is this going to be way too big? I used the same hook size that I usually use for the fingering weight to kind of create a denser fabric, which I do love. I love the dense fabric with the Kobu. And when I measured it, I was like, oh, this is great. I sized down too. I knew like I wouldn't be making my typical size. I think I made a size large. So like I would normally make an extra large and I think I made a size large. So I measured it and you're meant to have 0 to 2 inches of positive ease. And I was like, oh, this is great. It's gonna have 2 inches of negative ease. And I kind of wanted to see what that would look like. And I'm like, this is fabulous. I love this. There were no like alarm bells going off in my head that like, you only size down 1 and you're using DK yarn and you're getting 2 inches of negative ease. I'm telling you it was a half-assed measurement, but I did like, I laid it out and I looked at it and I was like, great. So I moved forward. And when I finished the whole fucking piece, I'm like, huh, this looks kind of big. I measured it again. I had like 4 to 5 inches of positive ease. Either math has just completely abandoned me from the last half of last year into this year. Like it has just decided, let's really mess with Chelsea's head. Or I just can't fucking measure. Like I was really being mean to myself too, because I'm like, you're so lazy, you don't even measure anything right, and blah, 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 and you're a terrible designer. I was being so mean to myself, so mean. And it was just like, It was a half-assed measurement. I just did not measure carefully. So I was really upset with myself because I'm like, this is way too big. It's not gonna fit properly. So I kind of put it aside for a day. And then I woke up on, I don't know which morning it was, Thursday morning, Friday morning, Saturday morning, no one knows. But I woke up and I thought, what if we had elastic? It was literally like, I sat up, what if I had elastic? So I did. And I'm gonna turn so you guys can see that the back of this is now super stretchy. And I took my crochet hook, I took some corded elastic, and into the back I just crocheted around the elastic for the edging, which I would be making anyways. And then I just kept kind of cinching it up. So the back kind of looks like a baby doll, like a little bit like a baby doll dress almost. Like it has like a little bit of, not ruffle, it's not that big, but it just has like a little bit of like to it. And then the front does not. It works. It works. I think it's cute. Would this be like, oh, I'm going to write the pattern based on this? No, it's, I wish that I made the top a little longer because doing the baby doll, like with the ruching, it is somehow a little bit longer in the back and the front now, I don't know. It's not what I wanted exactly, but having done all the work, it's cute and it's fine. So I do like it, especially I've paired it with this real cute skirt. I think that's the picture that I'm showing you guys. And I think it looks cute. I think that the back is different and it's cute. It's fine. So I know I'll get a lot of wear out of it, but it brought me down for a little while. It really did. But it is a finished object and I guess I'm happy with it. All right. So that was faux number 1. Let's move on to my second finished object. Finished object number 2, I'm not gonna go into too much detail because I just did a whole vlog about it, but it is the Daydreamer Shawl by Tony Lipsy of TLYarnCrafts. Y'all. This shawl, y'all. I'm so freaking proud of myself. I made a Tunisian crochet shawl and it looks damn good. It goes with my top. Oh. That's what I'm saying. This top's gonna go with like everything in my closet. I love it. I love this shawl so much. I cast this on as my entry to my own Pop Your Cherry make-along. This is our spring make-along over on my Ko-fi page. We've been having so much fun trying new things this spring. And Tunisian crochet is something that I've always wanted to try. I tried about 5 years ago and could not figure out the end stitch. But after watching Tony's tutorials, she has a whole playlist that's like begin your Tunisian crochet journey here. And the very first video is a 15-minute video that's, learn to Tunisian crochet, the basics, learn in 15 minutes or less. That was all I needed. I'm sure when I start learning more techniques, I will need more tutorials, but it taught you how to do your foundation row, how to do the Tunisian simple stitch, which that is what this shawl uses. It does have a little bit of lace work with like some yarn overs and stuff, but use the Tunisian simple stitch. It teaches you how to do the return pass. She focuses a lot on that last stitch because that's where I was having issues, and then how to bind off. And that's really all you needed for the shawl. The pattern does add fringe, and I was done with this shawl for like 10 days before I was finally like, all right, let's add the fringe. And I'm so glad that I did because I just think it takes the shawl to a whole nother level. It definitely adds like the boho vibes. And I paired this for like a festival outfit. I paired it with a bikini to wear as a sarong. This is how I thought I was gonna wear it like the majority of the time. But honestly, like this, just as this like little boho beachy shawl, I love it. I will wear this all the time. The yarn I used is Lion brand Mandala Ombre, and the colorway is Serene. I had some leftovers from my Magic Hour sweater that I made by 2 of Wands, and it was legitimately the perfect amount. Let me show you how much I have left. This is all that I have left of the Mandala Ombre. So with the fringe, I was getting really worried, but yep, this is all the, oh, and my swatch. I do also still have the swatch. I save all my swatches. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them, but I have a whole box that's just full of swatches. So I guess I have a little bit more. Anyways, I am thrilled with this project. I already have my next Tunisian crochet project planned. I am going to be making the Harper bucket bag, also by Tony Lipsy of TLYarnCrafts. One of my amazing Ko-fi members, Alice, she made herself a Harper bucket bag. It's incredible, and I want to be just like her. I think I'm gonna make one in black because I have it's actually a bucket purse, but it's like raffia, almost like rattan looking, honestly, with the black, and I love it. But I think just having like the solid black purse would be really classy for going out. And it looks like the size of that bucket bag, I will be able to put a small project in, like a small crop top or a bikini or something like that, something small that I'm working on. In addition to my phone, my wallet, my medicine pouch. I'm 37 now. I can't go anywhere without my medicine pouch. You know, the usual things, but I think that's going to be great. So I'm very excited to cast that on. We still have like 2 weeks left in the make along. Some people are just getting started right now, which is awesome because we're trying new things. We don't need to finish our things. And the prizes have been pretty epic, if I do say so myself. This week's prize, which I will have chosen the prize winner by the time this video is live, it was for, a really awesome cross stitch kit. I'll put it up here. I think it's like filthy something stitches. I don't know. I thought this was so freaking cute. So this is one of the prizes that are going out. We still have 2 prizes left, and I just announced to my Ko-fi because they had only seen one of the prizes. But our very last prize for the make along is going to be the Tropical Doodle Deck by Pacific Knot Co. I am so excited about this. I bought myself one too. I live in Orlando, Florida, and my local yarn store is Knitcessities. The amazing owner, Vanessa, she is just the sweetest, most wonderful person. I saw that she had these and she was so excited because I think her store, and there's one other store in Cocoa Beach, I think they're the only 2 places that are selling this tropical doodle deck. And there's manatees. And of course, my favorite, we have some palm trees here too. It just makes me so happy. But I absolutely had to snag one. I don't know what I'm gonna make with it. Oh, and gators, look at the alligators. I'm like so ridiculously happy with this. But when I told Vanessa that how much I loved it, and I'm like, I'm gonna grab a second pack as a prize for my make along, she got all excited and she heavily discounted it for me. So thank you, Vanessa, and thank you, Knitcessities. But this will be a prize that is going out. I think it's gonna be our last week. So if you wanna join, I know there's only 2 weeks left, but if you wanna be part of a really supportive community of makers, you get access to our Discord right away. You get access to all of my Ko-fi features. I do weekly blog posts. I do videos and tutorials that are exclusively for Ko-fi. Depending on the tier that you're at, there's different perks, but our highest tier, the Whip and Sip tier, we have 2 monthly virtual events. 2 virtual events each month. That's a better way to put that. And we hang out, we sip cocktails, and we just chat and work on our whips, and it's a really good time. I will put the link in the description if you want to check out my Ko-fi, and if you want to join us, there is still plenty of time. Moving on to our works in progress, we are going to start with the Relaxation Ruana by me. I have very exciting news. One, this is the not so exciting part. This was another reason that I really beat myself up. Basic math, once again, deserted me. And I realized there was a problem and there was a flaw in my design. But the good news is that I was able to rework that pretty easily. And I have finished all of the necessary granny squares for this Ruana. Okay, so the design and concept of this is very simple. It's very simple. We are making a big rectangle in the back with 2 rectangles in the front, and it's a Ruana. You can seam the sides if you want. I will be. And, you know, it's made of granny squares. So the rectangles just are with the squares filled in. Math-wise, you have to measure like approximately how big your squares are going to be to figure out how wide you want your rectangle, depending on the ease that you want for your Ruana. Now, I did all that, but when I did it and I got the ease I wanted, I was like, okay, 6 squares. So there'll be, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then on each side there'll be 3. That would mean there's no spot for your neck. Like it'd be like a point that's just coming out of your neck. And if I'm gonna do a lapel, which I'm planning on doing, it would I feel like it would either make it everything like ride back and down, or like the lapel would have to go up on your neck. So I was like, oh, I need a 7th row. I need 7 squares across. And then that way there's 1 square that doesn't have 2 sides coming out of it. And it worked. But when I did the math for that, I thought I needed like 80 some squares. So I was talking to Bree, because it is her beautiful yarn that I am using, the Little Wolf Knits. These are her Holiday Pixie Sticks minis. And this colorway here, this is Honey Sticks. So these are in full skeins. But I'm explaining it to her. I send her this big long Marco Polo. If you don't know, it's a really cool app that you can like video chat with people on, but like leave them a message and then come back to it when you want. I love it. I left her this big long Marco Polo, and then I'm sitting there rethinking everything that I said. I went, that's not right. So I poloed her again. She gets like 15-minute polos from me all the time, the poor girl. But I poloed her again, and this is how I did the math. And it is just so interesting to me how, especially as a former, you're gonna laugh, as a former, well, I was an ESL teacher, but where I got placed was in the math department. So I was teaching math in Spanish to 2nd and 3rd graders. Future editing Chelsea here. I realized that might not have made sense because I said I was an ESL teacher and then I was teaching in Spanish. I worked at a dual language school. It was really awesome in Virginia. All students, regardless of their first language, spent half the day in English and half the day in Spanish. And my particular students that I worked with were often Spanish language learners or English language learners that were learning math and their skills were below grade level. So those were my babies. And I was really damn good at it. But I loved learning how kids looked at things, like understand why are they having so much trouble with this, and building number sense. And in doing so, realizing how poor my own number sense can be. My spatial awareness is not good. Like my spatial reasoning, I struggle with. That's why I'm very like tactile. I benefit a lot from like having hands-on and writing things down and seeing all the steps laid out. Whereas other people can just like do that in their head, or they can just skip some steps to get to the next one. I cannot. But I just find that fascinating. And it really helped me to help students, especially students who were very much below grade level. So to help them kind of fill in those gaps, it was really cool. But anyways, I digress. This is how I reasoned it. I was like, okay, so how many squares am I gonna need? So I want 7 squares across, and then to get the length from the shoulder to the bum that I want, I need 6 squares down. So that's a matrix, right? That's a grid. 7 times 6, that's 42. So I write down the number 42. And then I'm like, okay, now there's a space on the front we're not using, or on the back, we're not using that 1 square. So it's 3 and 3. Now they also need to be 6 deep. So 3 times 6, that's 18. 18 plus 18 is 36. So I write that number down. And then I do 42 plus 36, and I get 78. And please God, let that be right. I know it is. My husband double checked. He checked my work. But anyways, I explained all this to Brie. Like, she's watching me do it in real time. And she's like, why wouldn't you just do that? And she did this much easier. Like, just add 6. And I'm like, well, how would you know it's 6? And she explained that. And I go, my brain doesn't work that way. It has to be done the way that I can understand it. I can see other people's ways and be like, wow, that's really fascinating. You added 6 because of this. But my brain does not make that connection. I have to do it my way. And if that lets you understand at all how hard it is for me to be a designer, and I still try, it honestly, it brought me down for a little bit because I was like, again, I reframed these thoughts. You don't have to call me out for it. But I was like, oh my gosh, you're so dumb. You're too dumb to be a pattern designer. Like, blah, blah, blah. You can't do basic math. None of that is true. This is what I tell my students, or I used to. We all come up with answers differently. Like, I showed my work. It makes sense to me. I'm able to figure it out my way, and that's totally fine. It takes me a lot longer. But it works. So I now have 78. I have quadruple counted them, but I have 78 granny squares, and I am very excited to start putting them together. I'm going to be doing the join as you go crochet method. So all of my squares will have one more round in this beautiful honey sticks colorway. And I've never done join as you go before, so probably a bold move to be doing it as I'm designing something new. But you like work up one side and then it like joins with the other, and then you join with the other and one side might be left open. I'm not sure, I gotta watch the tutorial again. But they will all be joined together. I'm very excited. And then I will be adding a really cool lapel, and I just think this is going to be a really beachy and awesome, something to toss on over your cutoff shorts, or something like in the fall and winter that you can layer over top of your other sweaters and cardigans. I think this is going to be really cute. So yay me. Stay tuned. We'll see what happens. I don't know if I've mentioned, I've shown this a couple times, this really cool seashell bowl. I got this at Marshall's for $11.99. I love it. I think it's very full right now, so it might be hard to tell that it's a seashell, but I think this is going to be a really fun way to show off like some flat lays of my works in progress on Whip Wednesdays, or to maybe like show off all the supplies that I'm doing for an object. And it just fits my office and my soul so well. My next whip is the Cordelia cardigan by Meghan Makes Do. I've made some progress, y'all. I'm very proud of myself. Oh, I always forget to show my project bags if I have them. But this adorable pink flamingo project bag, this is by Fancy Boy Designs. I got a little coffee on it the other day. I need to try to get that out. But Fancy Boy Designs, I have so many of their project bags now. They make me so happy. Such great fabrics. And they're so soft, and just, I love that they all come with, well, not all of them, it depends on the style you get. But these ones all come with a really great strap, and it's nice for knitting and crocheting on the go. So highly recommend Fancy Boy Designs. So I took this, well, last we saw each other, I was still working on the back panel, but I was really close to being done. I took this whip to the movies for date night last week. My husband and I went and saw Death of a Unicorn with Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega. I'm really glad I had my whip with me and an espresso martini, because I did not like that movie. Y'all, it wasn't bad. Like, Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega were amazing in it, but like I think I'm just maybe too raw still. The animal cruelty in it, I realized it was a CGI unicorn, but it was rough, and it's very gory, and I'm usually fine with gore when it's people. That sounds terrible, but you know, like fake movie stuff. But this, I was almost in tears at a couple points, and just like cringing, and there was one point I almost walked out of the theater. I just didn't want to be there anymore. There were some funny parts, but it was not for me. At least not right now. So if you also are like, oh, animal cruelty, or if gore is a thing for you, please do not go see this movie. I finished the whole back panel at the movies, which is a fantastic, and I cast on the first front panel. So, you know, not a ton of progress, but there's some. And this is absolutely my whip right now. That is just when I have a moment, I pick it up. When I need something that's completely mindless, because it is just stockinette, there's no special stitches or anything, I love it. The yarn that I'm using is the pattern recommended yarn. I bought the kit from Lion Brand. This is Lion Brand's Feels Like Butta in colorway pink. I always think it's gonna be like something fancy, but it's pink. I love it. And I did buy, with the kit, I bought the coordinating color because you do these little duplicate stitch hearts on it that are so freaking cute. Let me show you the color. Dusty pink is the color that I bought to use with it. But after making my Daydream Shawl, like the pinks and oranges are coming to me. Pinks and green, pinks and orange. And this is very sweet and romantic and Valentine's Day. What if I did orange hearts? Like, wouldn't that be so freaking cute? I have yet to go on to Lion Brand's site to see if Feels Like Butta comes in an orange, but if it does, I think I'm gonna get it. I think I will need to get, you only need 2 skeins for my size. So I think I'll grab 2 skeins in the orange and then I can have a pink and orange cardi. If it doesn't, this will be very sweet and wonderful also, but my heart's a little bit set on the orange right now. So I'm sure that you will see this again, slowly, like slow progress. If anything big happens, I can continue bringing it out, but otherwise I might just let you know, like, oh, made it this far. My next whip is the Vacation Vest by Park and Knit. She's cast it on. I can't remember if I told y'all that I was making this for like 2 weeks or just last week, but I cast it on today and this is the progress made. It's quick. This is gonna work up so fast. This is going to be the top for my next Disney bound. If you are not a Disney adult like me, if you're not in the know, the Disney know, Disney bounding is where you dress up as a Disney character or something Disney inspired. I have seen people do Disney bounds based on park rides. I've seen people do Disney bounds based on different places in the parks. And of course, there are lots of Disney bounds for the different princesses and the different Pixar characters and Star Wars characters. It's basically using regular clothes to create an almost costume that you can wear to the parks or to Disney places. I have done several videos with handmade Disney bounds where I am attempting to be a character and I either go to my handmade closet and pull something based on what I think will work for that character's outfit. I did this with Moana. It was a surprise Disney bound. I grabbed a cutie cuff is what they're called. And it's like a mystery. You open it up and you get some sort of Disney princess or Disney character and they come on one of those like slap bracelet things. So I decided whatever character I got, I would go into my closet and with handmade items I already have and create a Disney bound based on it. I'll pop in a picture of my Moana. It was really cute. I loved it. I've also done Rapunzel from Tangled. I've done the Enchanted Tiki Room. I've done a whole bunch, but it's really fun. And I feel like it's a nice creative outlet. And because I love Disney so much, to get to make something that maybe I've always wanted to make and try to like see how that relates to a character or to go with the items that are already in my closet and create something Disney related. It's just fun. So with the Vacation Vest, I'm gonna pop in a picture again if I haven't already. You can see this version by Park and Knit, very cute. It's vest style, but let me show you one of the versions with the ties. This is more what I'm going for in pink. So pink with bows. It's not a princess. Can you guess what it is? I think one person on my last video guessed. No? Okay. What if I told you it was a character based on the 100 Acre Woods? Can you guess yet? I'm not gonna say it out loud. Not until next time. But Yes, I am creating a Disney bound. My friend Shannon, Crafty Luna Creations, she lives in Fort Lauderdale and she is coming up to Orlando. We are going to Epcot with my husband and all three of us, Steven does not know this yet, but all three of us are dressing up as part of this group. And we're going to spend some time in Epcot in our amazing Disney bounds. Now, today is April 17th. Boy, I just took a whole bunch of days away from myself. April 17th. We are Disney bounding. We are going to Disney on April 26th. That gives me 9 days to make this top. It's a very small top. It uses like less than 500 yards of yarn. I do truly think that I'm going to be just fine. It might even get finished by this weekend. However, I'm doing something a little risky. Because it wouldn't be me if I wasn't doing something that could potentially fuck it up. I love the fit of the original sample. I think it is objectively pretty. It's not quite my style. The very like small V in the front and the lot of positive ease with not a lot of décolletage. That's not quite usually what I go for. And when these vests first started, like in any sort of fashion, like high-end fashion, slow fashion, fast fashion, I was just like, oh, they look cute on that person, but I don't think they're for me. But the more I saw them being worn and the more I saw people wearing them with the ties, and it had like more of the front, like usually more openness in the upper chest area, and then like little peekaboos between the bow ties, I was like, oh, that's cute. That's really cute. Now, I chose the vacation vest. It was the closest that I felt like I could get to the look that I wanted. I have since found another pattern. It was actually from watching some yarny YouTube, and I'll put a picture in here. It's not size inclusive because that neckline is really what I wanted. And I, especially this week, do not feel like using my designer brain to try to, oh, I could figure that out. I could work this and do, I just want to follow a pattern. So I'm not going to attempt to take the size inclusive pattern by Park and Knit and make it look more like the other version. I'm not going to take that version and do my own thing. So I went to the project pages on Ravelry and I was seeing how other people wore them and style them. And one of the things that I think is really going to work for me is a lot of people, the ones that I'm like, it's beautiful on them, that's not really how I would wear it. They added ties or clips because you can choose where you like close your vest. The pattern again uses clasps, but you can put them like really anywhere. So a lot of people put them up higher because that's their preference and it looks great on them. But there were some people who put them lower and it does open it up a little bit. It gives more of an open look. And some people, I wish more people would put the size that they were making and their size in their project notes. That's something that I'm trying to get better at too, is like including my current measurements or the measurements when the photos are taken. Just to help people, like if you're playing with ease or, you know, if you're between sizes and trying to figure out what you want. But there were a couple people that I'm like, that's the look that I want. But then they wouldn't have the size that they made or their measurements. And I'm like, well, that doesn't really help me. So basically what I'm hoping is I'm sizing down. The size that I should make based on my chest measurements, I am 46 at the bust. I should be making an extra large. This top is meant to be worn with 1 to 4 inches of positive ease. But I think with 1 to 4 inches, it's going to be very boxy, which I don't mind oversized, but I think those front panels, they're just not going to give me a lot of room to play with. So I thought, well, what if I size down to a large? Well, the large is still 46 inches. It would be 0 inches of ease on me. And I'm like, I still just feel like, I don't know. I think I'm going to be disappointed with it whenever I'm done. So I thought, is it very bold of me to go down to a medium? The medium is 42 inches of ease, which on me would be like 4 inches of negative ease. it would still be positive ease, quite a bit of positive ease around my hips and not my hips, my rib cage, my natural waist, and it is cropped. So I'm like, I think this could work. And because of how I want to tie it, where there's like the bow is here, but there's like a slight gap in the middle, I think it's going to work. And then I gauge swatched and I got even more excited because for me to have like a comfortable gauge, I'm off by just the slightest bit in the positive direction. So like making it a little bigger. So I actually think that I'm going to end up with approximately 2 to 4 inches of negative ease. And I'm like, so happy about it. I properly measured. Now, to truly be proper, I should take this off and block it. But we ain't doing that. It's going to bite me in the ass later. I can feel it. But this is measuring, like if I give it a little stretch like it would when it blocks, it's giving me like 2.5 inches of negative ease. So I'm a little bigger than what I should be making for a size medium. Like my project's going to turn out a little bigger than a medium, but not quite as big as the large. And I actually think that's going to be perfect. Fingers crossed. So today I got through the increases and I need to go put this on a yarn holder and then I can start making the front. I think I'm going to wait till tomorrow to do that. I can make the front right and left and then I can join it. And that is my goal for tomorrow. And then on Saturday, I'm doing something really fun with a friend and I should be able to bring it and then we're just knitting in the round for like 6 or 7 inches. So I might get it done Saturday depending on how much like talking and drinking we're doing, but if not, I could finish it Sunday or I can finish it Monday, and I think I will be finished in plenty of time. The ice cream truck is here. Do y'all have ice cream trucks in April where you live? We do in Florida. We have it in December. But that is the vacation vest by Park and Knit for my Disney bound. And I think it's going to be really cute. So wish me luck. Hopefully the next time I see y'all, it'll be not next week, but the week after. I should have just finished up my Disney bound. So I'll let y'all know how it goes. Okay, y'all, I think I'm going to break a lot of hearts here, but the next whip that we're going to talk about is the Tipsy Tea by me. Y'all, I did so much work on this. Like prep work I had done beforehand, and when I sat down to start working on it, it was not sparking joy. I had made a sample a while ago. I'll pop in a picture here. There were some issues with it. This is the sister pattern to my Tipsy Tea, the crochet version, and I worked it up last year, but anticipatory grief and grief now is a brutal bitch, and it really clouds with your brain. And the version that I made had a lot of issues. I decided to put it in timeout last year because it wasn't making me feel good. And when I started working on it this go around, I had been excited. I was like, oh, I think I figured out all the things. And I don't know if it's like the energy surrounding the project because there was so much heartbreak with Rudy, and I had worked on that design so much with Rudy, and I don't know. I made my swatches. I put everything together. I was looking at the fabric, and I was like, it's okay. It just was not making me happy. And I poloed my friend Shannon, and I was telling her this, and she immediately was like, why are you working on something right now that does not make you happy? Like, that is not what we're doing in 2025. And I was like, oh my God, you're so right. Like, it just hit me like, I don't have to do this right now. So I know that so many people were really excited, and I feel like I keep dangling the carrot. But I'm not like putting this off my radar for forever, but it doesn't feel good to work on right now. And this was such a hard week. And I think that working on it was part of what was making me even sadder. So it is not something that I am going to be working on right now. And I am letting go of that guilt. I'm sorry if you're upset. I genuinely am sorry if you're upset, but it's just not working out right now. So I'll make other things that hopefully you'll love. So going forward, unless something happens and I'm like, oh, I'm feeling really good about it now, and I bring it back into the rotation, I won't be talking about it for a little while going forward. So, those are all of my current whips and faux that I have to talk with you guys about. But I do have one more thing. It's an idea that I wanted to float to you guys. So with deciding not to do the Tipsy Tea right now, it gives me a lot more time to work on my Relaxation Ruana and to work on my other projects that I have. But a couple weeks ago, days ago, what is time? I was on Pinterest and I saw this really freaking cute cardigan. And it's so simple. It is just stockinette and garter stitch. I'll pop in a picture here. But I was like, oh, I loved it. And I'm like, I can make that. I did do a reverse Google search because the pin led to nowhere. I did a reverse Google search to see if that was a pattern from somewhere. I went on to Ravelry and to Etsy and I didn't see anything like it. And I was like, dude, I could make this. So of course there was a part of my brain that was like, oh, do we want to make it a pattern? Do we want to like do the whole write-up? And then there was another part of my brain that was like, I am tired and just want to make it for myself. And then a third idea came to me. I am really trying to grow my YouTube and to do things that I hope y'all will like. I'm trying to get more people to pop over to my YouTube. So, you know, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and click that subscribe button. You know, maybe share these videos with a friend or tell a friend if you like my boozy channel here. Speaking of booze, self-promotion makes me thirsty. But I do want to create content that y'all like. And I had this idea and I thought it could be really cool. I was thinking of doing a design with me style video where I would make this cardigan and film the whole thing. So we would talk about the yarn choices. I would swatch with y'all. I would talk about like my body and swatching and choosing my cast on, sketching it out, you know, writing down what I want to do, basically making a pattern for it, and then following through to make my sample. And we would do that whole thing together. And I would give it a name. But I wouldn't actually like write up a full pattern, do a tester call, all of that. It would just be my personal designing for my own body, but y'all would be able to see like everything that goes into that. And then if you wanted to make it for yourself based on what I have done, you are more than welcome to. It's not like you're not like copying me or anything. You don't have to worry about that. I don't care. You know, but we could, you know, design this. And then if you wanted to take it and be like, oh, okay, this is what she did. She took her gauge and her measurements and did this. I'm going to do that same thing. And you wanted to do it. That's great. If you just wanted to watch to see like the process behind it, if you think that's something that would be really interesting, that's also great. If that holds no appeal to you, like maybe also let me know that. Because this would be a longer video, like to film and then put together and edit. And I want to make sure that that's something y'all would even like, because I could just make it for myself, no issue, and then have this really cute little cardi that I'm so jazzed about. I even think I want it in the orange. Like I really like that, like sunrise orange. I think it's great. Gigi will love it. But if you're like, oh, that would be so cool to see like how you do the design process. And you'd also get to see how I do the design process with my special math brain. We would laugh a lot in that video. But yeah, you'd get to see it. And then if you wanted to try to make it yourself, you totally could. You'd be more than welcome to ask me questions and I would try to answer to the best of my abilities. But I just thought that'd be kind of fun, like a little design with me series. Let me know if it turns out that there's not a lot of interest. I might ask my Ko-fi if they would like me to do that as part of like a private thing, and then I could give even more help in depth over there. Or I might just, as I said, make it myself. So if you're watching this, if you made it to the end and you wouldn't mind letting me know what you think about that, that would be great in the comments. Well, y'all, we did it. I'm sorry if I wasn't my normal positive bubbly self. I don't think it was that bad. Thinking back on, I haven't watched any of the videos yet, but I don't think it was bad. So I hope you're not sitting there going, girl. I do try to film when I'm in a pretty decent mood, and this week was shit, but today has been better, so I hope that this was still fun and entertaining for y'all to watch, and you've now seen everything that I'm working on. I hope that y'all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. Please, again, don't forget to subscribe, like, share this with a friend if you think they might like it, and I will see y'all next time. Cheers.